Chems, how come they're not shooting at you? Well, as you can tell, I'm invisible. They literally cannot see me. And the best part, I also have infinite Miriam, so I can just keep spamming them over and over again and keep killing them. Chems, how are you invisible? Well, you're just gonna have to watch the video and find out. So this invisibility glitch, how does it work, Chems? Well, all you have to do is go on my website, chemsgg, and download the shitpack invisibility skin. That's right, this is a 3D style or 3D mod skin thing I made, and it makes you invisible. So I'm gonna back my ass to this corner, and I'm gonna farm up these guys right here. And you'll see, none of them will shoot me, because I'm invisible, and they don't know I'm here. So, the reason I chose the shit pack is because it's basically the best tank for this, right? The only downside of the shit pack is that it has no armor, but if you're invisible and not getting shot, then it doesn't matter, right? So, as you can see, I'm not focusing any one target. I'm distributing my shots to every single one, because Miriam only drops if you damage them. You don't necessarily have to kill them, your team can kill them, but you have had to have damaged them at least. And as you can see, my invisibility skin right here, it's working a treat, right? None of them are shooting at me. The result is that I get an obscene world record amount of damage. So in case you haven't realized it, this is just a skin, okay? This is a like client-side visual thing. It doesn't actually make you invisible, okay? A server-side bot doesn't care what I do to my client. The reason they can't see me is a lot actually weirder. If you just drive to this corner here and park your ass there, they cannot see you. But not exactly. They know you're there, which is why they all gathered and sat around me. But they can't actually aim at you or shoot you. There's some, I guess, maybe like rogue poly blocking this tank's center of mass or whatever. And it's not just this tank, by the way. It's pretty much any tank that can fit there. I think even a KV5 can make it work. Anyway, so I leave this position to grab some Miriam, because if you want to solo this, boy do you need a lot of Miriam. Because this is on the brutal difficulty, the hardest difficulty. The middle difficulty, I think it was intense, that's the middle one. You can just solo it, no problem. Like, I've had absolutely no issue soloing games over and over again. But on brutal, it really is brutal. Because on wave 3, there's a bunch of those Italian heavies, and they have an AoE attack. So basically, they can't shoot you, but just by being near you, they can suck 150 HP away from you and give it to themselves. And they're heavies, so they already have a decent amount of health. But anyway, this position made farming 1,000 kills extremely easy. Because, like, you feel like it's not a grind. You feel like, okay, it's up to me to solo this match. Can I do it? And then you want to play. It's not a grind. Like, you want to challenge yourself to see if you can do it. Anyway, if you want 1,000 kills, the go-to is the intense difficulty, which is the medium difficulty. Because instead of a bunch of lost T-49s, it's a bunch of hedgehogs that you can one-shot. There's one thing, though, I should mention. When it comes to farming kills in the shit pack specifically, brutal is actually the way to go. Because every tank on brutal, funnily enough, you can penetrate with HE. So when you're on intense, the first wave... Oh, here's a charger, by the way. Sometimes the charger will nail you, and other times the charger is gonna just go back and forth like this. But yeah, as you can see, as soon as the charger rams, he starts aiming at you, right? But he can't shoot me. He can see that I'm here and ram me, but for some reason they're unable to aim their guns. Which means hedgehogs will hit you guys, okay? You gotta focus hedgehogs out. And as you can see, I'm the last one. And this is good because being the last one means they're all gonna gather around you, and you're gonna have a bunch of spare Miriam around you. But anyway, what was I gonna say? Oh yes, the first wave on the intense difficulty, that's the medium difficulty. It's a bunch of Indian panzers, which you can't really pen with HE. And then there's M48 Ram Panzers, which you can't really pen with HE. And VKs, I forget, VK7201 or whatever, which you also cannot really pen with HE. But on Brutal, they're all French tanks here. The M4 Revelarice, you can pen with HE. This AMX, you can also pen with HE. And the AMX M454. So if you want to farm kills specifically in the shit pack, and you don't care about winning or losing, you just want to farm kills, well, then Brutal is actually the way to go because you can pen all these guys with HE. So yeah, as you can see, they can't see anything. And again, as you could also see, the time is actually your biggest enemy. So you gotta really get to work here. So Chems, what kind of consumables do you use in order to win? Well, there's the fast firing mode, or fast firing ability, which you should just take, even if you're not abusing this position. It allows you to cut through enemies very quickly. The only downside is that it uses 50 Miriam, which is quite a lot. The other one is the stealth health. It makes you invisible, and it also heals you while fixing modules. You should also use stealth health, because if you're in a bad situation with a bunch of enemies, you can escape. So you should use that even when you're not in this position. The only consumable that is specific for this position, and look, I'm using my fast firing because I've got 10 seconds left to kill all these guys. The only consumable you should use for this specific location is Vampire Shot, because it steals health from nearby enemies, which is 150 health. But 150 health really, it's not that much at all, right? But it's 150 health per enemy around you. So if you have 10 people around you, that's 1,500 health. You get healed to full, which is amazing, because I don't know if you've noticed by all the Miriam around me, there's a lot of people that stack around you. So this is wave 3 now. This is where it becomes very difficult and arguably harder than the last wave. And look, I left the location. He can shoot me, so I'm going to go back. And if you don't mind me, I'm going to take a sip of my White Monster Energy. It's not sponsored. It's just, you know, I would like to, as a non-white man, I'd like to join the ranks of Agartha. So let me just have a sip. Splendid. So this is where it's going to get extremely intense. So what is it called? The El Ferrata. You can see 150 HP taken, 150 HP taken. And again, this charger guy, he missed the ram and just, oh, look at that. For a second there, I was on very low health. Then I fired my vampire shot. Now I'm back to full. And I'm running hardening on the shit pack. This is absolutely necessary. Without hardening, a trapper can two-shot you. With hardening, a trapper cannot two-shot you. Okay, look, 380 health. Let's shoot that. I actually missed. Fucking gun depression and wiggling. But there we go. I healed up to a little bit because there isn't as much people around me. But that waste of Miriam, or Fent, as we like to call it, the Fent for our Fent reactors, that waste of Miriam was kind of horrible because you need as much as you can get. The best part about Vampire Shot, it has an AoE that can one-shot all the hedgehogs if they're clumped together, and it only costs 25 Miriam. But again, I would not recommend Vampire Shot unless you were in this position, because to be honest, a lot of the times you really aren't gonna get a huge group. Even if you get 3 in a group, that's still only 450 health. That's still less than the group heals. And at least the group heals your allies, which is important if you want to win. But here it's not so important. And this is really the only way you can win, is with Vampire Shot. If for whatever reason you don't want to use Vampire Shot, on wave 3 what you can do is actually just leave this location altogether. Go to the opposite end of the map to where all the El Ferradas are. So let's say they all came from here. You go over there and you just try to farm them up. Don't kill them. Leave them as one-shots so that when you do kill them, you kill them right here and the Miriam is next to you. But the idea is that they're all such low health that you can kill them easily and you won't lose much health being here. But yes, as you can see, I'm making quite short work of these guys. But if you look at my Fent reactor, 106, I've actually used up all the fentanyl right next to me. Which is not ideal, because we're going to need it, especially for wave 4. Because these El Ferradas, they're not the main thing. They make wave 3 hard, but it's not, like, impossible. The thing is, with the second half of wave 4 is when trappers appear. And trappers are the problem, because they don't suck a measly 150 HP off of you. They hit you for 600. So, what's going to happen that I find the best way to deal with it at first, this is what I thought at first, is whenever they trap you, use your invisibility, leave and come back over and over again until the trapper is in range for you to kill them. But I found a better solution. It's really hard to leave because if you look at the top, the second wave starts really early. You see that little tick mark? That means the second wave starts when there's already a bunch of people surrounding you, which makes it very hard to leave and come back in the exploitative zone when there's a trapper around. So really, the best thing to do is to just let them surround you, and then when the trapper keeps putting his traps on, you actually just eat it. Just take the 600, but you vampire your shot, or you vampire your health back up. And you do it like 2 or 3, maybe even 4 times, until the trapper is in range. Once the trapper's in range, you absolutely have to focus the absolute shit out of him. This is why having a shit team is good, because if they all die, the trapper will come straight to you, instead of dicking around with your team. And let me take another sip of my Agartha beverage. Fantastic. Now this is when it begins. I can actually leave here because I managed to kill everybody. This isn't usually, or yeah, honestly, this isn't usually the case. See that T69? He's actually distracting a lot of them. Normally, that's not the case. You would have a lot of people surrounding you, but then you can vampire shot. And now, this is the part where you all look. How amazing. The trapper right in front of me. I even do the fast firing, so I don't have to use my vampire shot again. The fast firing uses more Miriam, but of course I can kill that other guy along with it, so. That's really good. That's really good. I didn't take any damage from the trapper. But now here comes the corrupted El Harada's AoE attack, and you should definitely focus them first. They're pretty much the only things that can damage you. And great. A nice fire. Of course, the vampire shot does 150 HP. So, you can also, if they're left on like 100 HP or less, just use that to finish them off. Here's the thing. You can actually pen these guys with HE if you aim for here or in between the tracks. The problem is, it has to be like perfectly flat, or else you splash them. And splashing them, it's so risky because you have to kill these guys quickly. Look, I've got 1 minute left, and I've got all these people to kill. So, if you were really try-hard sweat maxing, what you can do is use your fast firing ability, track them, and then use your HE. That way they don't do little micro movements and make the angle flat. Or not flat, and then you end up not penning. Anyway, am I gonna vampire this guy? No. I still have enough health. I don't need to vampire shot quite yet. Now, you can poke a little bit, but not too much. Anyway, here's this guy. So easy with HE. And now there's one El Ferrada left. Now this guy needs to drive in front of me. There we go. Perfect. Do I need to use my fast firing ability? I might, because I can't HE him now. He's... Oh, let's see. Yeah, okay. I ended up using it. So... yeah, there's no more Fent around me. This is very, very bad. It might actually be worth just leaving because wave 4 is going to have trappers on both parts of the wave. Okay, yes, I'm leaving now because there's no use in taking unnecessary damage there when no one's aiming at me. So I'm going to go over here and try to find the trapper. That's what I need to do. There he is. Okay. There's one. It's gonna take 2 more. And oh, someone shot him. Okay, it's gonna take 1 more. Perfect. Can our team kill him? Now, Alpha E50s are fucking brutal, man. I think there's some sort of like reaction parameter. Some bots don't really shoot you that often, or they're not very accurate. These Alpha E50s will smack the shit out of you from, they'll snapshot you from across the map, which has happened to me. And if you're squishy, they fire HE and they do 500. But anyway, that's 1 trapper killed. This basically guarantees the win, because all these Alphas, E50s, surrounding me, they're gonna provide me with enough HP in order to spam Vampire Shot in order to kill the other trapper that's gonna show up. As you can see at the top when we reach that tick. And these E50s, they drop a lot of Fent, or Miriam I should say. So you can keep it up here without ever having to leave again. And these guys don't have an AoE. I must warn you though, you can actually get shot here. It seems that for whatever reason, if they're here and they catch like a slight glimpse, you can get shot. I lost a game once where 2 Alpha E50s drove across this and they both shot me. So I guess this mound with the height allows them to get a shot into you. I'm not sure though. But anyway, you can see from the top, there we go, enemy. And this is amazing. They spawn right in front of me over here. They didn't spawn on the other side of the map, which means the trapper will be here anytime now. But here, look, I took a shot. I'm at 570 HP. I have to heal or else the next one will kill me. And oh, would you look at that. Am I going to use my fast firing? Yes. A bit too slow there, but... And look, you can pen the Alpha E50s with HE, but they have to be flat. And again, it's so risky. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is they do a slight micro adjustment and you only splash them. And I've got a minute and 20 seconds to chew through 11,000 HP. This tank has like, what, 6,000 DPM with HE? I literally cannot kill them all unless I use my fast firing ability and I set them on fire. But this is the interesting part. Now I can use my fast firing because they give so much Fent when you kill them, you can just keep spamming it. And aim for the engine because you can set them on fire. Anyway, let's keep it up. Come on, come on, come on. I don't need to use my vampire. I need to conserve all the Miriam I can. Perfect, perfect. All right, again. Let's keep it going. He just gun blocked me there, that son of a bitch. I've got 30 seconds. Okay, there we are. And then this is the annoying part. I can't shoot this guy and I can't shoot the other guy because they're in such fucking stupid position. And I had to use my Miriam there for my invis to fix my tracks because he shot me and tracked me and I'm a 2-shot. So I don't have enough Miriam to kill this guy now. If I didn't have to use my invis, I would have killed him. I would have had enough Miriam to kill this guy. Wow. Lost on 67,000 HP or damage done. But yeah, maybe I'll replay that in slow motion there. I had to use my invis because it also fixed my tracks. So when I killed the guy, because I used my invis and I had less Miriam, I was only at 40 instead of 50. If I was at 50, I maybe could have killed this Alpha E50. But yeah, look at that. 67, almost 68,000 damage done. And still lost. By such a small margin. But don't worry, I got another replay to show you. So you might think, oh my god, I keep losing. My teams are so shit. Actually, there's two ways to do well in this mode. Either your team is really good or your team is really shit. But if they're in between, you're going to have a terrible result. That sounds weird, but let me explain. If your team is really good, which is the team we have here, it's kind of obvious, right? Your team can hold their own. They kill a bunch of people, and the amount of work you have to do in this position is reduced. And you survive for longer, and it's a lot less load on you, the player on this position. It makes sense. It's a good team, right? But if they're a shit team and they die in like the second wave, that means that there isn't Miriam spread all across the map because they all died. All the enemy bots come to you to get farmed up, and then you have this big, huge surplus of Miriam. And with that surplus of Miriam, you can use that to heal over and over again with the vampire shot, and you just never die. But like you see these losts over there? My team's still alive, which means they're gonna kill all of those. And because I haven't put any one shot into any of them, they're not gonna drop any Miriam. So instead of all the losts dying here and adding to my Miriam reserves, they're gonna die over there, and I'm not gonna be able to kill all of them, so I'm gonna get less Miriam in total. However, now I'm putting some shots into these guys, so when my team kills them, I can pick up some Miriam at least. But like I said, this team is actually really good, and not just for the first few waves, it's all the way up until the last few waves. So the load was lightened, and let's just have a quick look. We've got two turtles, which I suspect did most of the heavy lifting. And Wheezy F121, I'm not sure how good that thing is for this mode. And an AMX M4. If the bots cannot pen it frontally, then that probably is a good pick, but I'm not too sure. Anyway, I should tell you something about the Alpha Hedgehog. As soon as you kill the Alpha Hedgehog, 3 smaller, or maybe 4 smaller regular hedgehogs spawn around it. So you want to kill the Alpha Hedgehog as soon as you can. That way, all the tiny little... There, look on the map. I kill it, and then boom, 3 of them spawn. You want to kill him far away so you actually have time to kill these hedgehogs here. If you let the Alpha Hedgehog get close to you and you destroy him, well, you're going to have 3 hedgehogs spawn right on your dick, and then they're going to kill you. Of course, you can activate your invisibility, and then the hedgehogs will target someone else. But here's the thing. If you're like right here, and he's coming, and you go invisible, he won't see you, but he will keep going on the same path he was already going. So you actually have to move out of the way, which is fine in most situations, but it's not fine here. So if he's coming and you go invisible, he will keep going on this path and then hit you, unless he targets someone else. That's just how it works. Anyway, look where our team is. This is great. They're supporting me. This is actually best case scenario because all the Miriam is still being collected here and piling up here. But my team is helping me kill these guys quicker. So, that's good. And if you want to pen these with HE, shoot the driver hatch from the front. That's where I was aiming. Yeah, right there. And this is what I mean by those tiny micro movements. And why HE is risky, especially for the heavies, because to pen them with HE, you have to have their side or rear but flat. So you're aiming and then they make a micro adjustment and then you don't pen. And then you do like 50 damage and then the time runs out. Anyway, so this is wave 3. This is the hard wave. And I type in chat, focus the Italy heavy, because that's the one that's going to get me. And they say affirmative, which is great. It's so refreshing having a team that listens to the Unicum. I know, I'm back at it at my bullshit again. Guys, if the Unicum tells you to do something, it might work. It might. I know, it might work, okay? But anyway, here's a charger. Worst case scenario, you can go invisible and he'll target someone else. But a lot of times, if your team is on the other side of the map and you go invisible and your invisibility ends, this son of a bitch charger will literally do a U-turn and come back after you. Anyway, there's the Alpha Hedgehog. I don't have a shot on him, and he's quite far. So he's my team's problem, not me. And yes, you can pen most things with HE, but it has to be flat, right? You'll see here. Alright, the rear. Yes. It's, I'm not sure if the rear of the medium has to be flat, but definitely the heavy. And, yes, the Malachite does 300 AoE, but he doesn't heal himself from it. And here it begins. So, there we go. HE, but flat. Okay. Switch back to AP. And, oh, that's such a splendid low roll. And, okay, my team came through. And look, my team really is supporting me, which is fantastic. So, all of these guys are Alphoradas. And there isn't enough of them here to make my vampire shot really save me over the long term. But because they're dying so quickly, I'm good. So, good job, team. In reality, guys, if you want to win on Brutal, you should just play in a platoon. Because even if your guys aren't the greatest, all they really have to do is sit back there and shoot at what you're spotting, or shoot at the enemies that are focusing you. Occasionally, they will spawn behind them, and then they'll have to deal with it. The guy in chat says, Shitpack, how much assist do you have? Funnily enough, it doesn't really count as assist, even though I'm spotting them. Yeah. Doesn't really matter though. It's the damage and kills we're after, because, again, there's a mission for, I think it's like 180,000 damage or something like that. But really the real mission is 1,000 kills. And yes, hedgehogs do count as kills, so yeah, 1,000 kills. This position allows for the 1,000 kills very easily. And to be honest, like, wargaming 1,000 kills for 2 measly boxes, really? Yeah. So, Chems, can you get banned from using this position? Well, I don't think so, because do you guys remember the Contradictious exploit where you could get a fast reload? Well, that wasn't bannable, and it gave you an exploit on other actual players, right? And by the way, they killed the trapper, so I'm good. But yeah, it gave you an exploit on actual players. Oh, I was wrong. The trapper's right here. Oh well. I'll just kill him now. It gave you an exploit on real players, but this exploit is against bots. So it's not even that bad, right? Because, okay, you have an exploit against bots. So what? No one's getting upset. So if the Contradictious exploit didn't get you banned, why would this get you banned? But to be fair, or to be clear, I did ask the Killzor, because he talks to a lot of mods or wargaming players or whatever, and I asked him, and he said, no, it should be good. So, there we go. Anyway, if I didn't have Vampire Shot, I'd be dead by now. But I just keep sucking up Fent, healing myself, and then sucking up Fent, sucking up their health, healing myself, and getting more Fent from it. But as you can see, having a team that can support you means that, again, you have a much less heavy load on your shoulders. So you can, although you don't get to stockpile as much Fent, you don't need to, right? That's what I'm saying. You don't need to. So I'm telling them, go back and snipe, because the wave only, like, the time you have between waves is only like, what, 15 seconds? And you're a turtle. You're quite slow. So you need to get out of here. I get that anybody they sniped over here is going to drop Fent and they want to come and pick it up. I get that. Fine. But here, I move forward so that the trap doesn't spawn on me, or doesn't spawn on me here, and I can actually back up to this corner. And I'm going to do it again. Oh, and oh, look. Amazing, right? And I see the trap is going to damage me no matter what. Fine, I'll eat it. And I missed that Vampire Shot. It's kind of misleading. The Vampire Shot shell velocity is very low. So you gotta be careful with that. Anyway, this is a bit annoying because there's a bunch of Fent around me, but I can't really leave this position because these Alpha E50s will absolutely eat me up. But anyway, hopefully I don't even have to, because my team will support me. And here they come. Another trapper. It's fine. I've got 4 E50s around me, I can suck up and heal. So I healed 300, not ideal. I'm going to die with the next trap. So I'm going to go invisible and leave. There we go. And then I can vampire shot this, but it's only 2 people, right? I activated my fast firing so I can kill this guy. Because I'm wondering, someone needs to kill this trapper. Because I can't stay here, or else he's gonna get me. And I'm running dangerously low on vent. It was at this point, I didn't quite realize it yet, but the trapper's dead. Now, if you're invisible, the trapper doesn't put traps on you, which that's why I think I'm not getting trapped right now. I'm not getting trapped because I'm invisible, but as soon as it ends, I'm just gonna start getting trapped. But then I think right about now I realized, oh, okay, the trapper's dead and they're all shifting their attention elsewhere. I'm gonna quickly come over here and steal some vent and then make it back to that position. Because having no fast firing ability at that position means that you're basically never gonna kill them in time. And although the Alpha E50s drop a lot of vent, they don't quite drop enough to replenish a full fast firing. I'm not sure the exact number that they drop. I'll probably do the math and put it on the screen there. But you can see it's gonna be less than 50. But if you have a little bit reserves on you, that means when you kill an Alpha E50, but you pick up his stuff, the actual amount it costs for the fast firing is quite low. It's whatever, I'm going to show it to you. But that means you have to have a reserve on you. And now I do. I have 123. And now I have a minute to kill 4 of them. Well, 3 of them and this tiny little hornet. I'm not going to kill the hornet. I want him to get closer to me so I can pick up his vent. So look, I have 48. Okay, now I'm back to 83. Now I'm going to kill this guy because he's right in front of me. And hopefully that'll allow me to have at least 2 more fast firings. Okay, it's 98. It wasn't quite 2. But don't worry. When I kill this guy, I will get more. Here we go. We'll kill this one. Track. Stop moving. Stop doing little micro adjustments. Now I can fire HE because he's tracked and sitting still. And there's 1 guy left and I have enough. I have 83. I have enough to kill him. Now, if you can just stop dicking around. Come on, get over here. And perfect. As you can see, you don't actually have to be right in the corner for it to work. He's not shooting at me. This is basically the upper limit. I wouldn't poke any more than this. But he was destroyed. Look at that. We won. I only did 34,000, which is like kind of average for me. Even when not abusing this position, 34,000 is average for me when I'm in the Grom. And when I'm soloing this on the intense mode, 35,000 is kind of the average. That 67,000 game was because my team was so shit, I literally had to do it all. And I almost won. If I just didn't get tracked there, I would have won. So the way to win is to either have a really shit team or a really good team. So there you go. Yeah, wow. Chems, if I don't want to abuse this position, what's the best tank for this mode? The Grom and the Turtle. The Turtle is a bit better in that its fast rate of fire means that you can kill, what's it called? Hedgehogs a lot easier, but it's slow. And trappers are really going to fuck you over. Because it's not like you can, you're not able to drive out as a turtle. You can drive out of the traps in a turtle. You're fast enough. The problem is when you're grouped up with your friends, you get a bunch of traps around you. Then you have to traverse like 3 traps or 2 traps. You're not fast enough to do that and you will take 600. And the reason you're all together is because you should be at where that ping is. If you want to complete this in solo, going over there seems to work. I have completed this on Brutal, albeit in a platoon, but we did it by going over there. That's the way to do it. If you want to farm kills without this exploit and you're just playing in pubs, Intense is the best because it still has a lot of enemies, but they're not quite as hard as Brutal. The problem with Basic, the first one, is that there's a lot less enemies, so you're not going to be getting kills quite as often. But anyway, after you've watched this video, you might be inclined to try this out. Unfortunately, literally like right now, as I'm making this video, this happened. So they fixed it by putting an invisible wall here. But here's the thing. It's so like shitly lazily added. Look at this. So that like people who are actually trying to play the game normally and they don't know about the glitch or anything, they might come here and be like, oh, I'm gonna use this as a side scrape or something. They just get fucking blocked. Oh, look how far this extends. How lazy is wargaming? Holy shit. Oh, and I can't... The funniest part is that there is a position like this similar, and it's right here. And they blocked it off with shipping containers, so you can actually see it, right? Why couldn't they have done that back there? Holy shit, dude. Wargaming just lazy and fucking lazier and lazier. Yeah, sorry guys. I had hoped that this video would have came out sooner, but something happened, and it's coming out now. Yeah. Cams, why didn't you tell me they patched this at the beginning of the video? Well, you wouldn't have watched it to the end. I go ahead and unsubscribe.